Good, good evening. Is this on? We're good? I am pressing it. Is it working okay? It's not? I got a green light. One moment. Testing. How about that? Is that better? I'll speak loudly. Good evening. Today is Monday, January 13th, 2025. It is now 6 p.m. and this meeting is now open. Representing the quorum of the Board of Trustees tonight are Ms. Kathy Arlano, Mr. Doug James, Ms. Denise Morrison, Ms. Nicole Peters, Mr. Dustin Qualls, Mr. Chris Todd, and myself, Rob Ellis. Thank you for joining us this evening. As provided by the Texas Government Code, the Board of Trustees may go into closed session at any time in accordance with sections 551071, private consultation with the board's attorney regarding all matters is authorized by law, including board governance. 551072, discussing purchase, exchange, lease, exchange of real property. 551074, discussing employment, evaluation, or discipline of personnel, including board governance, superintendent evaluation, and contract and central office administration. 551076, discussing security personnel devices and district-wide intruder detection audit report findings. 551082, discussing disciplinary matters or complaints regarding school children and or school district employees. 5510821, discussing personally identifiable information about public school students. And everyone's favorite 551087, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations. The Board of Trustees hears public comment on both agenda and non-agenda items at all regular meetings in accordance with Texas Government Code 551007 and local board policy. As communicated to each registered speaker in writing earlier today, each registered speaker has an allotted time of up to 2 minutes, and comments must not mention any individuals by name or position or contain personally identifiable reference. Registered speakers must speak in the order called and must not yield time to other registered speakers. In order to keep our meeting efficient and safe, we ask no registered speaker approach the table. Each registered speaker should watch the time on the clock in front, as it will notify you once your 2 minutes have expired. We thank our registered speakers that have acknowledged that they understand and agree to follow these procedures set forth in board policy when they sign the public comment form registering to speak. Good. Any individual who fails to adhere to this policy will be stopped by the board's attorney. Mr. Qualls, please call tonight's first registered speaker.
President Ellis. Our first registered speaker is Miss Valerie Hirsch. Miss Hirsch, I understand you have some students joining you this evening as well. Will you all please approach the podium?
Heifers, lambs, pigs, and more, enhancing our knowledge in nutrition and science. Our chapters have achieved milestones like placing nationals and earning national gold honors. We take pride in having members of the North District and area officer teams, showcasing our commitment to leadership. FFA projects have taught us vital life skills such as problem solving and accountability. We learn time management skills by building confidence, and we also do record keeping for our projects. We are inviting you to the 56th annual Planet C FFA Livestock Project Show from February 4th to the 7th at the Krahn Multi-Purpose Center. Join us to see student projects and enjoy our silent auction. Your support is appreciated.
We also invite you to our auction on February the 8th at 1 p.m. with the buyer's luncheon at noon. This is a great way to support our hardworking FFA members.
For more information, please visit the Krahn ISD FFA Lifesaving Project Show. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing you at the show.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Hirsch and FFA students. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Ms. Michelle Frias. Ms. Frias, will you please approach the podium? Ms. Frias, you have 2 minutes, and your time begins now.
Good evening, Board of Directors. My name is Michelle Frias. Thank you for your time and consideration this evening. I am requesting the board to revert the decision to deny 3 grievances that were sent past 10 days after the incidents. TEA's policy states that school districts must provide parents with the F&G form and instructions for filing a grievance upon request and should be available at any time. Please reference Exhibit 6 from Level 3 hearing documents, email correspondence sent on February 8th of 2023, specifically requesting the grievance form and instructions, which I did not receive. I repeatedly followed up throughout the school year due to repeated inappropriate incidences, and I was given no direction. I also referenced the student handbook, page 59, which directed me to Kleiner & Ski's website homepage. At the time, it did not specify nor direct the end user to the grievance form nor the instructions. However, since then, retrospectively, after my level 2 hearing, leadership added the transparency tab on the website that takes in users to the form. Retrospectively, again, the district collaborated with the timeline and detail with the step-by-step process. However, at the time, this was not available, and the process with the timelines was not provided. In July, I also requested the form and instructions via Klein IC's online chat. And again, the Klein IC representative refused to provide me the form or instructions. I appreciate the changes in transparency that are now available as a result of my attention to this matter. However, I still have not been able to formally address my initial complaints. I can also appreciate that the teacher has not returned to campus due to inappropriate behavior towards students. But without being able to formally address my complaints based on a policy that is beside the point, because I was intentionally denied the information that I needed to properly file my grievances on time. This is against TEA's requirements and policies. During my level 3 hearing, council mentioned that I could have reached out to parents who should be in contact with an attorney for the grievance form. It is not the parents or attorney's responsibility. It is the district's responsibility to provide that information. Thank you.
President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Ms. Dawn Cox. Ms. Cox, will you please approach the podium?
These are different classes.
Ms. Cox, you have 2 minutes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Your time begins now.
Happy New Year and happy School Board Appreciation Month. I respect and appreciate our Klein trustees for their volunteer service to the school district and the Klein community. All of my comments are a request for better transparency. I spoke last month about the same issue, and the letter reply that I received did not fully answer my questions, so I'm still confused this month as to why there's such a large portion of the April 22, 2024 budget meeting that is seemingly skipped from the recording. This is done so without warning or explanation to the viewing public, and it's obvious to the public that something is missing, that they're missing out on the entire budget report. For reference, the missing budget report occurs between the 1.10 and 1.25 time marker. Would you please explain the reason for this removal of this portion of the meeting? It may be noteworthy to mention that there's also a closed session in this same meeting, and the board clearly mentions it in all the policy citations. This occurs in approximately the 1:45 time marker. The entire recording lasts less than 6 minutes, but the verbal documentation of start time and finish time indicates a meeting that lasted from 5:30 to 7:50 p.m., a 140-minute meeting with only 6 recorded minutes. Please explain and offer any remedies. Also, you will soon be discussing the Bluebonnet curriculum committee. For the purposes of transparency, would you consider using terminology that is familiar to the public if and when you place this on your agenda? For example, terminology such as resources review seems broad and vague. Would you consider using the terminology Bluebonnet curriculum? Or if it's already been on the agenda, would you please let us know which meeting included the discussion and the vote on this curriculum? One more thing, will any of our Klein librarians be attending the 2025 Texas Library Conference that will take place on April 1st through 4th in Dallas? Thank you for hearing my public comments and requests for better transparency. And again, happy School Board Appreciation Month.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Ms. Nikki Kenshin. Ms. Kenshin, please please approach the podium. Ms. Kenshin, you have 2 minutes, and if you're ready, your time begins now.
I'm here today about continued unsolved matters. First, we have elected officials who do not respond to emails and who do not communicate. Why is that? If you want to see proof, I have it. Have any of you seen the most recent KUIL cheer results in Rosenberg? Again, I can show you as well as I have a varsity TV share subscription. I was shocked. What changes are implemented for tryouts to better the cheer program since it's deteriorating district-wide? In addition, more retail with athletics and hope. When will it ever end? How is it that for others to be placed back on the team when the student wasn't initially selected to be on the team and in secret? I'm still waiting on clarity about this matter that has been brought up numerous times. This explains why Klein ISD is under federal investigation for Title IX athletics and denial of benefits. Money seems to be the big topic and all the blame on Austin. Austin is not 100% at fault for the deficits. And now let's touch on bonds. If you all knew what I knew about the mishandling and those parties involved, it's something else. This is very, very, very deep and chilling. The amount of public corruption, tampering with videos, financial reporting, demographics, etc., will be leaked, and it's now on notice. Thank you.
Thank you for your attention. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Dr. Patrick Huff. Dr. Huff, will you please approach the podium? Dr. Huff, you have 2 minutes. And just tell me when you're ready.
Right.
You're
President Ellis, Dr. McGowan, members of the board, I want to make one more appeal to you in not choosing the steady curriculum referred to now as Bluebonnet, formerly Amplified. Last November, I traveled to the State Board of Education to hear their deliberation on whether to adopt Bluebonnet as an approved vendor for curriculum for K-12 students or reject it. I gave testimony there to oppose the adoption since my strong belief is that this curriculum being pushed is the next step in the state agenda to control everything education and leave nothing academically to local control. Experts in curriculum are discovering that through their research that many of the grade-level components are inappropriate and serve no purpose in what should be an academically rich program of instruction, but unfortunately is not. As I stated to the board, in Austin, the most critical danger to adopting Bluebonnet is it will be the camel's nose under the tent, and soon the consumable textbooks will be taught, and it will be totally online. Amplified Bluebonnet meant to be an online program. Consumable textbooks were added only because of the opposition from the public of this being the online curriculum. When the consumables are dropped, there will no longer be a need for a trained, certified, and knowledgeable teacher. The computer program can be operated just as well by an instructional aid. Think of the savings to the state if teachers are no longer needed. So I urge you to do your research beyond the vendors and the TEA bureaucrats who stand to benefit with the adoption of Bluebonnet. It is not mandated yet. You can choose your own pathway forward. You will send a powerful message to the teachers you employ if you reject Bluebonnet and allow the teacher to be what they are trained to do and be the primary purveyor of information and knowledge in the classroom, not a computer program. Do the right thing and reject Bluebonnet.
Thank you, Dr. Duff. President Ellis, our next registered speaker is Ms. Priscilla Lashley. Ms. Lashley, please approach the podium. Ms. Lashley, you have 2 minutes and your time will begin when you're ready.
Okay. On December 10th, I emailed Klein ISD administration to ask for information on the $7,100 grant that was given to Klein ISD by the same person for something called Classrooms Without Borders. I got no response, which is horrible since Klein is supposed to be for parental collaboration. I recorded a clip of last month's board meeting. The teacher who won the grant explains it like this. We are so excited to be able to now purchase virtual reality headsets to support Klein ISD's writing initiative they are focusing on this year. This is for students who struggle to see the setting of what they're reading to help their writing outcomes. There is a reason that people are against HB 1605 Amplified. It's a digital curriculum bill designed to control education under a globalist agenda. There is a reason that people are against Bluebonnet. They say it's a pen and paper curriculum, but that is false. 1605 is the funding framework for it, and the framework can be modified at any time. It's also full of DEI, and they stuck some Bible stories in there to make it look appealing. If y'all truly understood the gravity of digital curriculum, you'd be lining up to learn from Mr. Huff. Screen time is harmful to your children. There are studies proving this. So back to Classrooms Without Borders. Since when do kids need a headset on their face to be able to write? Isn't that what imagination is for? When over the decades has this ever been needed? This is why the discernment of the Klein ISD admin is continually in question. Critical thinking, deep understanding of concepts do not exist here. And to top it all off, today I got a phone call at 4:40, 30 days later, and the day of the school board meeting to talk about Classrooms Without Borders. And the call was not from the person who gave $7,100. I don't know about you,
It's obvious you're talking about it.
but I'd like to know where my money is going. No idea where you put money in the classroom. Should be in your district.
President Ellis, that concludes tonight's public comments.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. The trustees will now move into closed session under sections 551, 072, 074, 076, 082, 551, 021, and 551, 087. Time is now 6:18 p.m. All right, may I have your attention, please? And that was louder than I expected. All right, the time is now 7:01 p.m. and this meeting of the Klein ISD Board of Trustees is reconvened. Thank you for joining us tonight. This evening, Vice President James will lead us in prayer, and then Trustee Krahn will lead us in pledges of allegiance to the U.S. and the Texas flag. Please stand.
Bow with me, please. Our Father and our strong God, we thank you for the opportunity to meet, discuss, and celebrate and honor the students in Klein ISD. Thank you that you've taken us from last year, 2024, to this year. New year, new opportunities, new things, and we're standing on tiptoes in anticipation on what you're going to do. Excited about what stands ahead. God bless our teachers, bless our administrators, bless those who have anything to do with our children. God, we have a special blessing for our superintendent and the leadership staff that she commands. Father, we pray right now for our meeting today. We pray that you will guide our thoughts and give us wisdom to make good, sound decisions. And we just thank you for all that you are and all that you mean to each one of us. Father, we thank you. We lift you up in the name of Jesus, and all those who agree say amen.
Thank you. If you would, please join me in the pledge of the U.S. flag. Now the Texas flag. Honor.
Wonderful. It's going to be a great evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Your presence is meaningful to this board and the students, educators, and community members that we will be recognizing this evening. If you could please take a moment to silence your cell phones at this time, we'd appreciate that. Klein ISD is a family with a shared vision that every student in Klein ISD enters with a promise and exits with a purpose. The Board of Trustees does not take lightly the responsibility the community has entrusted to us, and we work diligently along with Klein ISD leadership on behalf of every student entrusted in our care. At this time, we'd also like to recognize two former trustees who are in attendance with us, Mr. Dustin Krieger and Ms. Georgianne Reitmeyer. If you can please stand. Wonderful. Every regular meeting, including tonight, is an opportunity for the trustees to conduct the district's business and to recognize the achievements of the Klein ISD family. The great work that happens every day here in Klein is something that we're proud to recognize and share with the community. We conduct our school board meetings in accordance with Texas law. For example, we cannot vote on any item that is not listed on the agenda, and we may not publicly discuss items that do not appear on the agenda. All of our voting must be in public, but we can privately discuss items regarding personnel, the discipline of students, the acquisition of school sites, matters of school safety and security, and items requiring legal advice. However, the final vote must be done in complete view of the public. Please understand that this meeting is for the board to have discussion, deliberate, and take action. So we would ask that you refrain from making comments or making a public demonstration to allow us to focus on the matters at hand and honor those who are here to be recognized. The agenda and notice of meeting are distributed to each trustee 1 week before our regular monthly meeting. So if individual board members have questions, we will often call the superintendent prior to the meeting. So on many items recommended for approval, the trustees can determine quickly if they agree. If we seem to be moving quickly through the agenda, it's because we're prepared to make a decision without further discussion or questions. So Dr. McGowan, with that, we are ready to begin tonight's recognitions.
President Ellis, and good evening, Klein family. As you can tell, we are celebrating our wonderful school board tonight for School Board Appreciation Month. And I'm sure you all know these 7 individuals seated at this table are absolutely pivotal to the success of our students, our staff, and our Klein community. And we are grateful for their service to the over 53,000 students that we serve in Klein ISD, as well as the over 7,000 employees that we are privileged to call part of our Klein family. So please turn your attention to the screen as we highlight just a few of the many ways that this outstanding school board continues to serve and support our Klein community in 2024.
January is School Board Appreciation Month, and here in Klein ISD, we're blessed with a locally elected school board whose dedication to our students, staff, and community shines through daily. Our Board of Trustees work hard every day of the year to ensure we celebrate the promise and purpose of every student, and this past year was no different. From celebrating student successes to adopting the lowest tax rate in 32 years, their stewardship prioritizes what matters most: our students, staff, and Klein community.
This year, the Krahn ISD Board of Trustees was named the 2024 Region 4 School Board of the Year and one of 5 state finalists for the 2024 Texas Honor School Board. Our board celebrated student academic wins, award-winning teachers, and model students for their success in the classroom. They have also continued supporting and celebrating students in our award-winning fine arts and athletic programs.
Thank you, Board of Trustees, for supporting student athletes across the district.
The Krahn ISD Board continues to prioritize the safety of students and staff. As part of the May 2022 bond, they have implemented enhanced security measures, including the addition of secure vestibules and shatter-resistant film. They are also continuing critical safety renovations to ensure our campuses remain safe and welcoming spaces for all students, staff, and families. Through their dedicated leadership and the support of the 2022 bond, our board has been instrumental in advancing renovation and expansion projects across the district. This includes approving the contract for current projects like Howdy Elementary and Strock Intermediate modernizations, as well as Klein Intermediate renovations. These improvements will directly benefit our students and staff for years to come. Additionally, our board approved upcoming renovations for the Klein Forest Auditorium, the addition of a Shindelwolf Gym, and the complete modernizations of Greenwood Forest Elementary and Wonderlick Intermediate, showing their commitment to enhancing our facilities for student success.
From teachers across the district, thank you for always supporting and advocating for us. We appreciate you.
The board also approved a 2% raise for our teachers and staff while conservatively managing taxpayer dollars.
On behalf of our entire Krahn ISD family, happy School Board Appreciation Month. Thank you for all you do to support our students, staff, and our entire Klein community. We love and appreciate you.
Thank you, Board of Trustees.
Joining us this evening to help us recognize our outstanding school board on behalf of Precinct 3 Commissioner Tom Ramsey is Mr. Landon Reed. So Mr. Reed, please come forward. Thank you for joining us to recognize this board tonight.
You know, it's really been my privilege for years to come out here, even if it's been 4 and now 3 coming up Ramsey. Each one of you I've worked with in one way or another capacity, and for the people out here, I don't think you really realize how active this board is. I've got a lot of boards. I've got 15 school boards, and the top 2 is Klein and Tomball when it comes to their trustees. The trustees are out there working, they're in your community, and these guys are calling me not about school things a lot of times, they're calling me about things that are in the community, in the actual HOAs, in the roads, that doesn't even have to deal with the school district. They're that kind of active community leader, and that's why we're privileged tonight to come out here and celebrate this with you guys. The Honorable Harris County Precinct 3 Commissioner Tom S. Ramsey, PD, hereby recognizes the whole school board Klein for your service to the Klein ISD. January 13th, 2025, as Precinct 3 of Harris County, Texas, and on behalf of the constituents of Harris County, it is my honor to recognize and congratulate all the board for your faithful service on the Klein ISD Board of Trustees. Your unwavering commitment to foster the education experience for students in our community is truly making the district a great place to live and learn. Thank you for so generously giving your time and talent to the board as you serve the faculty, the students, and the family. We wish you success. Harris County Precinct 3, Tom S. Ramsey. Thank you.
Thank you, Landon, for being here tonight and for recognizing these wonderful volunteers in our community. We appreciate Commissioner Ramsey so much and all that he does for the Klein ISD. So thank you all for being such wonderful partners. Trustees, as you can see, there are many tokens of appreciation in front of you tonight. These were all created by our students. And so I want to say a special word of gratitude, especially to our students in our career and technical education program in Klein ISD. You can see our floral design is featured, and as you're going to have an opportunity to go through and see some of the things that our students have created, I just hope you'll remember how loved and appreciated you are by all of our kids who've also written you all personal handwritten notes. So we've got lots of wonderful things happening every day with technology and Klein ISD. Nice to go old school, just write handwritten notes, let people know how grateful you are for the work that they do. So we hope you feel all the love and support from our students and staff for the service that you give to the Klein ISD. I also want to say thank you to the communications team for putting together that video and going out. We were really touched by how many of our teachers and staff wanted to be part of getting to say thank you to you all. And I think that really speaks to the character of this board and the way that you are in the community, listening to the community, and using many talents and gifts to try to make the entire Klein community, and particularly our Klein ISD schools and district, the best place for people to live, to raise their families, and to call home. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand with me and give these incredible community volunteers a big round of applause for their service to our school district.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. McGowan and Klein family, for that recognition. It's embarrassing, but it's kind. And Landon, thank you for being here. We appreciate your support. And Commissioner Ramsey, all the great work you continue to do. We're ready to continue now to the recognition of the outstanding students and staff here in Klein ISD.
Yes, thank you, President Ellis. So we have a wonderful tradition where every month we recognize outstanding students and educators in our Klein family, and I love that our board takes the time to do that at every meeting. So tonight, to kick us off, we have Meredith Moss, who is the proud principal of Frank Elementary, who's here to recognize her outstanding students and distinguished educators.
President Ellis, board members, Dr. Gowan, Ms. Spalding, and Klein family. My name is Meredith Moss, and I have the privilege of serve Frank Elementary, and I'm the principal. We're home of the Frank Flyers, where we don't just fly, we soar. It's our morning announcement thing. At Frank Elementary, we fill the building thanks to our enthusiastic students, passionate staff, and supportive families. In every classroom, you'll find engaged learners diving into meaningful activities centered around innovation and high levels of learning and collaboration. Please allow me to introduce you to two outstanding students and one phenomenal educator from our school who are excellent examples of Frank Elementary's high-quality teaching and learning. Tonight, we recognize Sophia Pope and Porter Seeley as our outstanding fifth grade students, and fourth grade ELA social studies teacher, Nicole Brunk, as our remarkable educator. Sophia, Porter, and Mrs. Brunk, will you please join us here at the front so we can honor you? Klein family, if you'll please turn your attention to the large screens to watch the videos as we recognize our three phenomenal Frank Elementary family members. Hi, I'm Meredith Moss. I'm the proud principal here at Frank Elementary, and we are so excited to honor Mrs. Brunk. Mrs. Brunk is an amazing educator. She is relationship-driven and results-focused, and she exhibits this every day by building trust and a sense of security and belonging to meet the needs of every student in her classroom. It's a joy to be in her classroom and see her in action, working in small group and one-on-one with her students to really personalize the learning. Congratulations, Ms. Brunk. We are so proud of you.
Hi, I'm Mr. Baldwin. I'm here to talk about Porter. When he walks into the room, he is always smiling. He's happy, just pure, unadulterated joy of being around his peers, being with his teachers, and it's infectious. Kids gravitate towards it. They love being around him. He's just really makes everybody feel comfortable. He just is an amazing person, really empathetic towards kids that aren't understanding tasks to a level. He wants to work with them. He wants to help kids. Porter, I'm so proud of you. You are an amazing young man. I know we all feel lucky to have you in our classroom. I'm just really proud of you. for this accomplishment.
Porter, we are so proud of you. It has been an honor to watch you grow and learn for the past 6 years here at Frank Elementary. And I love that you are always soaring around our building. Even when no one is looking, you always exhibit our core character traits here at Frank Elementary. Way to go, Porter.
Hi, I'm Beth Ferris, and I am here to talk about Sophia. Sophia is truly a talented and accomplished fifth grade student. She is, moreover, a remarkable young woman. Sophia consistently maintains a deep sense of responsibility in both academic and social situations. One of the qualities that stands out most about Sophia is her strong work ethic and determination. When faced with difficulties, she does not give up. She perseveres. She asks probing questions. She seeks to find not just answers, but understanding. I look forward to watching her continued growth and success. Sophia, no doubt, has a bright future ahead of her. Congratulations, Sophia. I am so very proud of you. You truly are deserving of this recognition.
Congratulations, Sophia. We are so proud to celebrate you. You are a model student who soars across our building in all aspects. You are a great friend, you're a hard worker, and you are very determined, and I know you're going to do great things in this world. Sophia, Porter, and Mrs. Brunk, thank you for being with us tonight to celebrate and recognize your invaluable contributions to the Frank Elementary family. You all serve as inspirations and role models for those around you, and I take great pride in being your principal and serving this great school with you all as excellent contributors to our success. Tonight, to help us honor Sophia, we have her mother, Veronica Pope, and her father, Christopher Pope, and her brothers. So if you'll please stand to be recognized. And to help us honor Porter this evening, we have his mother, Allison Seeley, his father, Lucas Seeley, and his sister and his brother, and some other family members. So if you'll please stand to be recognized. And to help us honor Mrs. Brunk tonight, we have her husband, Tim, and her two beautiful children. If you'll please stand to be recognized. Tonight, Klein ISD Board Vice President, Mr. Doug James, will now present you with your certificates of this special recognition. And Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, if you will please join them afterwards for a picture.
Absolutely. This is my favorite part. Fifth grade is like the magical grade, right? Because you get ready to move on, right? You're top of the food chain in fifth grade. So again, you're the joy magnet, and you're the with all the enthusiasm. Okay. The parents and all those that came with this one, stand up. Stand up. There you go. You should be really proud. Sophia is amazing, and we want to offer this certificate to you, Sophia. Now, the ones that came with this fine young man, Porter, I want you to stand up. Porter, this is the joy magnet. I hope he's this way at home too. He doesn't bring all to just to school. He brings it at home, I'm sure. But again, we see that we just love the fact that you guys are making the teachers so happy, because happy teachers make a wonderful school. Absolutely, and you because of you, they can do it. So all right, yeah, you too.
1, 2, 3. And one more time. Okay, that's it.
Okay, congratulations to these soaring Frank Flyers. And Jenny McGowan, ready for the next one. Sorry.
Yes, no worries. And thank you to all the wonderful families for being here tonight. It's my favorite part is watching your joy and seeing the people you love in your life being celebrated. So thank you for making the time to be here with us. Next up from Krahn Elementary, we have our wonderful principal, Ms. Carissa Rogers. She's here to introduce her outstanding students and educator from Krahn Elementary.
Good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, Ms. Spalding, kind family. My name is Carissa Rogers, and it's an honor to serve as the principal of Krahn Elementary School, where purpose starts here, with an intentional focus on building relationships, character development, and innovative academics. I am so proud of the Krahn staff who commit to providing excellence in education for every student through personalized goal setting and a focus on results. Please allow me to introduce you to two wonderful students and one truly outstanding teacher from our school who contributes daily to the positive culture in our school. Tonight, we recognize Henry Lee and Christina Waters as our outstanding fifth grade students and third grade math science teacher, Ms. Jenny Curiel, as our remarkable educator. Henry, Christina, and Mrs. Curiel, will you please join me up front left to the podium so we can honor you. Klein family, please turn your attention to the large screens to watch our video recognizing our three phenomenal Krahn Elementary family members.
Hello, my name is Carissa Rogers, and I am the proud principal here at Krahn Elementary. I am here today to talk about an amazing teacher, Jenny Curiel. She is a phenomenal relationship-driven teacher. She builds trust and rapport with her students. She has really celebrated success and the progress of all of her students and is a huge asset here at Krahn. Congratulations, Jenny. We are so excited and so proud of you.
Hi, my name is Barrett Bullock. I'm a fifth grade math and science teacher here at Krahn Elementary, and I'm here to talk about Christina. Christina, she really embodies our core value here at Krahn of leading with resiliency. Anytime she's faced by a challenge, she thinks critically about the problem and finds a solution. Her first instinct is not to ask for help; it's to figure out the problem herself. She also really works well with others. She really has a we not me attitude. And Christina, congratulations on being recognized by Klein ISD's board as being an outstanding student.
Christina, we are so happy to recognize you here at the board meeting. You display optimism and hope and are a wonderful student. I am so proud to have you at Krahn Elementary and all the things that you are achieving.
Hi there, my name is Shelby Quebeca, and I am a fifth grade English language arts and social studies teacher here at Krahn Elementary. And today I have the pleasure and honor of bragging on one of my students, Henry. When I think of Henry, Henry is the definition of just excellence. When he shows up to class every single day, he is eager to learn and he is excited to be here at school. In addition to that, what I love about Henry is that he is willing to take risks and he loves to be challenged. He's not afraid to fail forward. He's not afraid to try new things. And I am just really proud of the student that Henry is. Henry, I am just so proud of you for receiving this honor and recognition by our wonderful Klein Board of Trustees. I could not be more proud of you.
Henry, we are so proud to recognize you here at the board meeting. You are a joyful student who is dedicated to their craft and their passion here at Krahn Elementary. Congratulations. We are so proud of you.
Henry, Christina, and Ms. Gurdiel, thank you for joining us tonight as we celebrate and recognize your hard work, your commitment to success, and the positive impact you've made on our school. Our Krahn Elementary family is so proud of you and your dedication to teaching and learning with excellence. Tonight, to help us honor Henry, we have his mother, grandmother, and his baby brother. If you could please stand to be recognized. Tonight, to help us honor Christina, we have her mother, father, and her brother. If you could please stand to be recognized. And tonight, to help us honor Ms. Curiel, we have her husband, Christian, her 3 sons, Ulysses, Ezekiel, and Alicio, and also her mother-in-law. If you could please stand to be recognized. Tonight, ISD Board Secretary Dustin Falls will now present you with your certificates of special recognition. Dr. McGowan, President Ellis, if you'll please join us for a picture.
Well, hello. Fantastic. I mean, this is always fun, like, trying to, honor you all, come up with the proper words, to accurately, portray. Christina, what hit me about you was you like to find the problem in you and solve it, even though you might fail at first. And, that's how I think folks actually learn the best is trial and error and sticking to it. Trying to work through the problem yourself without asking others, and without or focusing on what you can find. So I applaud you for that. That's awesome. That's going to get you so far for the rest of your career into intermediate school. So Christina, great job. And then Henry, what stuck out to me, first was your smile. I mean, you've got an infectious smile, man. I love it. But what stuck to me was watching your video. They say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I can already tell that's where you're headed because just watching you, intermingling with your schoolmates and your teachers, it looks like you truly love being there at school, which is awesome. I mean, that's a great thing. So Henry, keep it up. You're doing a great job, man. And then Miss Curiel, I mean, I love being back here, on this side because you can hear things sometimes that the rest of, the audience can't really hear. And as they were introducing you and you were walking up, I heard Dr. McGowan whisper basically to all of us that she is an amazing teacher. And I love hearing that. I mean, because it's so candid. It's just, Dr. McGowan expressing her true feelings. And so you should be proud of yourself and thank you for all you're doing for our students.
No.
Very good. Really fun too. One more time. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations to those outstanding students, teachers, and everyone who supports them. Dr. McGowan.
I happened to be at Krahn last week and actually was in all of their classrooms and they had no idea I was coming. It was just a regular day at Krahn, but there's nothing regular about it. They're all extraordinary students and absolutely exceptional engineers and curios. So I'm glad that we got to honor you all tonight. Now I'm honored to introduce our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Ms. Stacey Kinsfather, who's going to recognize more state and national success for some of our Klein ISD students. So Ms. Kinsfather, I'm glad you're here and excited to celebrate our kids.
Thank you, Dr. McGowan. And good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Ms. Spalding, and our Klein family. My name is Stacey Kinsfather, and I'm honored to serve as the Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, which includes supporting Klein's career and technical education program. Our CTE mission is to prepare students for college and high-skill, high-need, and high-wage careers. Tonight, we celebrate outstanding students who achieve top honors in state and national competitions through their CTE co-curricular organizations. These students exemplify excellence, and their accomplishments deserve recognition. I'd like to invite the administrators from each high school represented this evening to join me in honoring our distinguished students. Students, please come forward as your name is called so we may honor you, and please hold your applause until all student names have been called. Our first group of honorees participated in the Texas Technology Student Association Leadership Conference. First up, we have Cameron Korak from Klein High. First place in GFX Solutions, Biotechnology, designing a wearable assistive device for students with hand impairments. Jeffrey Reyes is next, Klein High, first place in GFX Solutions, Architecture and Construction, solving architectural problems with limited supplies. Next, we have Tanush Soleil, Klein High, second place in GFX Solutions, Manufacturing Design, addressing on-site manufacturing challenges. Isabel Warren, Klein High, second place in GFX Solutions, Architecture and Construction. Alexandra Bowe, Klein Oak, second place in GFX Solutions, Biotechnology. Sophia Sandoval, Klein Oak, second place in the on-site computer skills contest multimedia presentations, creating a topic-based presentation within an hour. Ada Valeria, first place for Klein Oak in the on-site computer skills contest graphic design artist event, showcasing creative problem solving with limited resources under strict time constraints. Hannah Maldonado, Klein Collins, second place in promotional design and marketing, creating an on-site film to communicate and promote a concept. Marcus Go and Timothy Johnson, Klein Kane, second place in the Catapult Trebuchet event, where they documented and engineered a counterweight trebuchet. Congratulations to all TSA competition winners for their hard work and dedication. Next, we honor students from Klein Oak's nationally ranked 3-star FFA chapter. The National FFA Horse Evaluation Team first in Texas and earned a gold national ranking. Team members, Raquel Grado, fourth place high individual and top 5 in the performance category, achieving gold individual status. Aubriana Gillette, gold individual and third high point individual in Texas. Elizabeth Gauss, gold individual and 13th high point individual in Texas. And Kennedy Lux, silver ranked individual. These students also earned their National Horse Judging Team Coaches Association Equine Management and Evaluation Certification. Congratulations on these incredible accomplishments. Please assist me in congratulating these amazing students. Special thanks to our high school administrators and the following CTE teachers for their dedication and support in helping our students excel. As I call your name, please stand. From Klein High, Karen Mahichek. From Klein Oak, Lauren Freed. Daniel Mackey. Daniel Mackey, thank you. Brad Threadgill. And Jennifer Roos. Jennifer Roos. From Klein Collins, Russell Stilley. And from Klein Kane, Kathy Knopf. Additionally, thank you to the parents and families who play a vital role in these students' success. Please stand so we can recognize your contributions. Finally, I extend my gratitude to our CTE Director, Deborah Bronner-Westerden, and our coordinators, Amanda Simmons and Joe Malcar, for their efforts behind the scenes, and to Dr. Delicato, Dr. McGowan, and the board for your continued support of career and technical programs. Your dedication ensures our students' success receive the academic and technical skills needed for future successes. Congratulations on this national recognition and award. At this time, Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, please join us for a picture with these outstanding students.
All right.
All the teachers with these kids, we all work hard for our kids. Come on.
And then all the okay, so and then all right. If you get to the camera, then the camera can leave. So on the gentleman on the back row, you don't get to scoot this way. Right there, right here. And then on the back row here, I forgot to put there in the back. You don't get to scoot all that row. Okay. And then I'll take the perfect.
Now, can everybody take 2 steps to the left?
Yeah. All right, here we go. 1, 2. More time. More time. Make sure we got it. 5. All right, here we go. And 1, 2. Got it. Thank you.
Well, they're finding their seats. Isn't that impressive? All those offerings. I think that's so amazing. We heard things from designing hearing replacements to very real world applications of limited time constraints and resources. It sounds like my job. And everything from real world to not so real world, but should be, like designing a catapult and trebuchet. And then the FFA, so impressive. So that was wonderful. We appreciate all the teachers and students and parents for all that we saw. Dr. McGowan.
Yes, congratulations to everyone. So proud of our career and technical education program in Klein ISD. It's truly second to none, and people tell us that all the time, and we have the awards to prove it. So congrats to our kids and our teachers and our principals for being recognized tonight. And now Dr. Brian Greeny is here to recognize the heroic, life-saving actions of several members of our Klein ISD family.
Good evening, President Ellis, members of the board, Dr. McGowan, Mrs. Spalding, and Klein family. My name is Dr. Brian Green, and I'm honored to share the story of 5 incredible individuals whose quick thinking and heroic actions saved the life of one of our parents. On November 9th, during this U.S. Southeastern Championship marching band competition at Katy Lake Stadium, an extraordinary act of courage and teamwork unfolded that exemplified our community and schools core values. I would like to invite Alexa Thibodeau, Jennifer Mills, Rebecca Chapa, Jason Hendrick, and Tammy Shea to the front to come forward as we recognize their incredible courage and teamwork during the U.S. Band Southeastern Championship, where their quick actions saved the life of a parent volunteer, Miss Renee Leva. So following the Klein Collins Band's outstanding performance, the band and volunteers exited the stadium when a parent volunteer, Miss Leva, suddenly collapsed at the top. Sorry, Mr. Leva suddenly collapsed at the top of a ramp. A student quickly alerted Ms. Thibodeau and Mr. Hernandez, who rushed to assist Ms. Thibodeau, Ms. Thibodeau assessed the situation, initiated CPR, and coordinated efforts with Mrs. Mills, who began chest compressions, and Mrs. Chapa, who stabilized Mr. Leva's head. The team was joined by Mr. Hedrick, a paramedic, and Mrs. Shea, a nurse, who seamlessly rotated in to continue life-saving efforts. Ms. Thibodeau also alerted event organizers, ensuring emergency responders had clear access to the scene. The swift arrival of law enforcement and Mr. Hedrick's request for an AED, automated external defibrillator, provided pivotal support. The AED was deployed, and its shock successfully restored Mr. Leva's pulse. By the time EMTs arrived and took over care, the quick action of this team had saved Mr. Leva's life. He was transported to the hospital, where he underwent a triple bypass surgery. After nearly 2 weeks in ICU, Mr. Leva was able to return home to recover and is expected to make a full recovery without any lasting effects. The heroic action of Alexa Thibodeau, Jennifer Mills, and the parent volunteers embodies the values that define our school and community. Under leadership of Ms. Thibodeau, the students and staff demonstrated exceptional composure and unity, standing as a shining example of what it means to strive for excellence both on and off the field. Their quick thinking, teamwork, and commitment to others saved a life that day. Klein Collins High School and Lim Elementary are incredibly proud of Ms. Thibodeau, Mrs. Mills, and the parent volunteers. Their actions reflect the very best of Klein ISD and reinforce our shared values of excellence, safety, and care for one another. The heroism will not be forgotten, and their story serves as an inspiration to our entire Klein family. Here this evening to help honor our staff are Klein College principals, the illustrious Mr. Randy Kirk, and the outstanding Lim principal, Adam Teets. Mr. Teets, where are you? Adam? At this time, Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, please join us for a picture with these outstanding educators and parent volunteers. And if we could please give them just a standing ovation.
Wow, that was one of the most inspiring things I've seen here at the board table, and we're so thankful to have you with us, Mr. Leyva, and for everyone's heroic actions. Dr. McGowan?
Such a wonderful example of our incredible educators, our wonderful parent volunteers, all coming together to do the most important thing in the moment where it counted the most. So thank you for letting us share this important celebration of life with our community this evening. Now we have our Klein ISD Director of Community Relations, Mr. Christy Spizak. He's here to introduce this month's Stand Up for Texas Public Schools recognition.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. McGowan, and good evening, trustees and Klein family. Tonight, it is my privilege to recognize Bundles of Hope as our January Stand Up for Klein ISD and Texas Public Education honoree. Here, on behalf of Bundles of Hope, we have Lee Basil. In addition, we have Klein ISD social workers Christy Gleason and Kimberly Jones-Williams. If Lee, Christy, and Kimberly could please join us up front so that we may recognize you. I would also like to mention that they have a wonderful group of supporters with them, of family, friends, and volunteers who serve for Bundles of Hope. But in Klein ISD, we are incredibly fortunate to have compassionate and dedicated partners like Bundles of Hope. For 26 years, this 501c3 nonprofit organization has been a pillar of support for our Klein ISD families within our community. They have been providing essential assistance through various outreach programs over the years. Their weekly food pantry ensures that families facing challenges such as job layoffs, loss of loved ones, house fires, or natural disasters have access to necessary provisions. They work closely with Klein ISD counselors, community youth services workers, and teachers to identify and assist families in need quickly and discreetly, making sure no one is overlooked. Each Thanksgiving, Bundles of Hope organizes a massive effort to provide families with a frozen turkey and a box filled with all of the ingredients for a complete Thanksgiving meal. This past year, thanks to generous food drives from our campuses and dedicated volunteers, they served 425 families here in Klein ISD. Following Thanksgiving, Bundles of Hope hosts a heartwarming Christmas in the Shack event at Fellowship of Champions. Families who receive Thanksgiving boxes are invited to enjoy a festive day with Santa crafts, games, face painting, cookie decorating, gifts for the children and the adults. In 2024, over 320 families attended this special event, bringing joy and holiday spirit to our community. Bundles of Hope goes even further by supporting large families in Klein ISD with Christmas baskets. They provided 80 families in Klein ISD who have 8 or more family members with everything needed for home-cooked holiday meals. We are honored to recognize Bundles of Hope for their steadfast commitment to supporting our community and advocating for Texas public education. Their impact on the lives of our Klein ISD families is profound, and we are deeply grateful for their partnership. Thank you, Bundles of Hope, for your unwavering support and for making a lasting difference in Klein ISD. At this time, Dr. McGowan and President Ellis, please join us up front for a photo. Lee, Kimberly, Christy, and your family, volunteers, and friends, we are grateful to have you as valued partners and for standing up for public education, especially in Klein ISD. Congratulations on this recognition and award.
Wonderful. They say it takes a village, and we appreciate all that you do for our community, for our schools. Dr. McGowan.
Absolutely. Our Chief of Human Resources, Dr. Bob Anderson, is here now to introduce a new principal in our Klein family. Dr. Anderson.
All right, thank you. Good evening, President Ellis, board members, Dr. McGowan, Ms. Spalding. amazing Klein family. Tonight, I'm honored to get to introduce Samantha Martin as the new principal of Schultz Elementary. Ms. Martin has previously served in our district as an assistant at Bedford, most recently the Dean of Instruction at Klein Elementary. Ms. Martin, would you please stand to be recognized, share a few words, and introduce any guests that are with us.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am so honored to be the principal of Schultz Elementary, and with me, my husband, daughter, my brother, and my mother, as well as my amazing Klein family and my new awesome Schultz family. So thank you so much.
We are so excited for you, your new role as principal, and the entire Schultz community. Thank you.
Wonderful. Look forward to meeting all of your guests in our intermission. I believe before we take an intermission and break, we have 2 reports. Dr. McGowan.
That's right. Congratulations, Ms. Martin. We're so excited about all the great things you're going to continue at Schultz Elementary. Tonight's first report is the third in a series of updates on the board adopted legislative priorities for the 89th legislative session, which begins tomorrow in Austin. As you know, we've been connecting with all of our elected representatives to share our Klein ISD legislative priorities for the session. And tonight, Klein ISD's Chief of Staff, Dana Hernandez, and our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Dan Schaefer, are here to present tonight's update.
Thank you, Dr. McGowan, and good evening, trustees, Ms. Spalding, and our Klein family. The 89th legislative session, as Dr. McGowan just said, starts tomorrow. It's an important time of the year for all of us who are Texans. For tonight's legislative update number 3, we will continue the critical actions Klein ISD must undertake during this session to advance Klein ISD legislative priorities and to secure necessary funding to provide the high quality education for our students that they all deserve. We are using our board adopted legislative priorities to guide our lawmakers in asking to fund our schools first. As you can notice the acronym, and again, this is one of 3 reports we've done, so this may look familiar to those of you who have seen this before. We've created a legislative priorities webpage to keep our Klein ISD community informed throughout this session. The webpage contains information about each Klein ISD legislative priority, as well as resources explaining more about school funding. We have also provided tips for making a difference in public education by contacting our elected officials, along with some sample emails for folks. There's also a link to the Texas Legislators' Bill Tracker to stay current with bills that could impact public schools, and an FAQ statement. And of course, there's short videos to help all of us who are not CFOs understand the very complex school funding formula and how schools are funded. This webpage has been shared, trustees, with our community over the past 2 weeks and is available for anybody to access and gain insightful facts and support our district through this critical legislative session. In preparing for the upcoming session, we've been working over the past several months with over 100 stakeholders from across Klein ISD to discuss budgetary challenges. We have held 5 different meetings at schools across our five families of schools, presenting this information to our community. Additionally, we have shared school finance information with our Klein Leadership Coalition, also known as KLC. And Dr. McGowan has continued all year long, reaching out across all of our faculties from every single campus to district faculties as well, to meet also with our faith partners through clergy events to inform everybody what's happening, what's going on, and to stay up to date during this legislative session. The purpose of having these conversations was to help our community to understand how school districts are funded and to solicit input on how to reduce our budget and make sure that we have the least impact on our classrooms, as well as possible options for trying to consider revenue for Klein ISD. A lot of feedback has been provided to us during these conversations, and there was surprise and disbelief on how schools are actually funded, and the fact that $4 billion at the state level was earmarked for public education during the last legislative session, and it still has not been distributed to any public Texas schools. Now that we have completed these conversations, Our next step will be to work with our Klein Leadership Coalition to engage in this session on behalf of Klein ISD, including appointing legislative captains from our five families of schools. Now I will turn the remainder of this report over to our Chief Financial Officer, Dan Schaefer.
Thank you, Dana. I think we just go back to $4 billion that hasn't been released. Divide that over the 5.2 million students in Texas. That's quite a bit of money per student. So there's a lot of money to be distributed. We look forward to working with our representatives over the next few months to try to figure out the best way to distribute those funds. But again, thank you, Dana. First off, we're so thankful for all the input that we received from those that were willing to get up early or take time during their lunch to come to our budget advisory conversations. These participants provided a lot of good feedback, and it's going to be important because we do need everyone's help to protect the high quality of instruction that we're accustomed to here in Klein ISD for every student. So as you can see, the challenges we're facing in Klein ISD and other public school districts around Texas are caused by, as you can see, 20% inflation, and that number keeps growing. That combined with no changes to the state-determined basic allotment, which is the primary funding source since 2019. Just to put it in simple terms, I mean, we can get confusing as far as basic allotment, but basically what happens is the state determines how much money a district can receive. You can equate that to what tuition would mean. So they determine what the tuition amount per student, and even though inflation has been historically high, that tuition amount has not changed since 2019. So in addition, we're experiencing underfunded mandates that are putting additional strains on school district budgets. Highlighted on the next slide are three significant areas that we wanted to make sure folks were aware of. Just for instance, transportation, the state does allocate some funds for that. About $3 million is allocated to Klein ISD, yet it costs $18.9 million to provide that service. That yielding a $15.8 million shortfall. $28.8 million is allocated for special education, yet it costs Klein ISD $80.3 million to be in compliance with those requirements, leaving a rather significant gap of $51.4 million. And finally, safety, one of the greatest priorities anyone has. The state allocates $1.2 million, and the safety costs for Klein ISD run roughly $10 million, leaving another gap of $8.7 million. When you combine all those areas together, that's nearly $76 million of underfunded mandates every year. That's an annual amount. So it doesn't take long to add up to a lot of money, even in 1 year. So back in 2019, we were very pleased that the state provided a meaningful investment into public education with House Bill 3. But unfortunately, with inflation, the way how high it's been, those gains have been lost as a result of that. In constant dollars, if you inflation adjust, funding for public education is actually down $10 billion since 2020. On top of this, the federal ESSER funds, which help many districts bridge financial gaps during the pandemic, are no longer available. These funds were essential in helping us maintain operations in the absence of inflationary adjustments. And without them, the lack of adequate state funding has become even more evident. Without financial relief from the state soon, Klein ISD, like many districts locally and across the state, will have to consider making cuts that impact programs and people for future years, determine other forms of potential revenue. With an emphasis on minimizing the impact on students, the following actions were implemented for the 24-25 school year to address the current deficit, including we already reduced department budgets by roughly 4%. The relief rezoning actually did yield some operational improvements by rebalancing the students at each of the campuses. Expanding federal Title I dollars to the Klein Forest High School, strategically using federal COVID relief funds, and then working with campus on strategies to improve student attendance, because that's how we earn money, is by students attending each and every day, $35 a day minimum. So please get your kids to school each and every day. For sure, by the working period, if you don't know, ask the principal when attendance is actually taken. It's really important. So we do remain committed to efficient stewardship of the resources entrusted to us. In the preparation for the future, we will recommend an external efficiency audit to explore additional savings opportunities for 25-26 school year and beyond. But what can we do now? The financial realities we face require urgent action, and we need help from our community. We're asking that you contact elected officials and ask for them to fund our schools first, to increase the basic allotment to keep up with inflation, and include an index into the formula that make annual adjustments based on that inflation thereafter. In addition, the underfunded mandates in transportation, special education, and safety needs to be addressed as the formulas have not kept up with the rising cost of providing those services. I'd like to thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Would you mind rolling back, if you can, to the page that has those underfunded mandates? Yeah, that's the one. So these are, just to make sure we're all clear, these are mandates that the state says we have to do, yet there's no funding for them. So it just comes out of kind of the local control.
It comes out of
our money, but from, it's not that we would want to spend less on any of these. It's just that they're mandated that we have to do it a certain way.
Right. There's obviously safety standards that we're now required to adhere to. Fortunately, Krahn has been in the forefront of that for years. And we're fortunate that some of the recent changes, we were already accomplishing many of those. We did add the additional guard program, which to help bring us into compliance with that one additional component. Just for instance, the funding there that was provided was roughly half of what that cost. And so that's just a recent example of what took place as far as a requirement, but yet the funding did not match up with the cost of that.
So not only we're getting new things that the state requires, but even from 2019, as inflation has gone up, we're paid the same amount per student. So basically the spending power for the district has gone down, is the
correct. Yeah, the buying power for the district, just like anybody else. I mean, you go to the grocery store, you used to get a big shopping cart for $100. Now you get the handheld red basket for $100, if that. And so it just gives we're no different when it comes to that. And that's what we're trying to make sure folks have a good understanding to address that need. It seems pretty simple, but it seems we're hoping that this round of it will get some additional traction.
And one last thing on that is that it's sometimes counterintuitive, but as people pay more in property taxes, that doesn't go to the schools. What we get is how much we get per student. That's set by the state, is my understanding. So that if we pay more in property taxes, that just means the state pays less till we get to that level that the state sets. Is that correct?
That is
one other nuance there that I think is really, really important. Just because we have X number of people enrolled in school does not necessarily mean that that's what we're paid for their school. Can you explain that real quick, briefly?
Yes. So that if they're enrolled, they still have to show up each and every day in order for us to earn the full amount. So the $6,160 is assuming they assume 100% of the time, which, we do have some that get perfect attendance, and thank you very much. That's very, very good. I have a good immune system to be able to do that. And so we do, but at the maximum we can earn is $6,160 for a regular education student.
I think it's like 70%. Is that right? Is that the right number? I'm trying to remember that.
Our attendance percentage in recent years has been around 93%.
So 93% is important because you're going to enroll 100% of the students and you're going to educate 100% of the students, but you're only going to get funded for 93% of the students.
That's an excellent point. There's actually some bills out there related to enrollment-based funding because we do budget and plan for a student to be there every day. Say a teacher has 22 students in their class and 2 don't show up. There is no cost savings for the day. We just simply lose revenue from the state. And so enrollment-based funding does make a lot more sense when it comes to how we have to budget and plan. There's been some resistance. We're one of the few states in the U.S. to still have attendance-based funding. The majority of other states are using enrollment-based, which seems to match up better with our operational needs.
Thank you. This is really helpful. Thank you. Good. It really makes a difference when people call their legislators to just mention these things.
And I do encourage not only call our locals, but if you have friends and family throughout the state, it's going to be important for not only our representatives to have the information, because Sam Harles is one of 150 representatives in the U.S. In the state House of Representatives. So he has to have some other support. So if you have friends and family throughout the state of Texas, share this information as well, so that they can contact their representatives, so that Sam can have some additional support whenever he makes his votes.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. I believe Dr. McGowan ready for our next report.
Yes, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to the trustees. Many of you also got up early in the morning and work during your lunch to come to these budget advisory conversations so that you could listen to the feedback from our community as you always do. And I really appreciate that and the active role you all take in connecting with our state elected officials on behalf of the students and the constituents here in Klein ISD. Our final report of the evening before we take an intermission and have the opportunity to get to celebrate further all of the wonderful people who've been honored tonight is from the director of our Klein ISD Historical Foundation, Mr. Steve Baird, and he's here to provide an annual update to the board on the Historical Foundation and Wonder Lake Farm.
Bring this home. All right, good evening, Dr. McGowan, Spalding, members of the board. This update is of activities and programs from the past year regarding Wonder Lake Farm and the Klein Historical Foundation. There we go, just making sure. Little Farmer Friday. In order to appeal to a wider audience, we have continued our toddler time and rebranded it as Little Farmer Friday, taking place usually on the second Friday of each month from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with between 20 to 30 toddlers. We construct a theme around the month and have a story, a craft, and an activity. Then the toddlers and the guardians are then allowed to explore the museum and visit with the animals and continue on with their adventures. Living history specialist John Wilson continues to spearhead this away from the museum program, taking artifacts, clothing, and tools out to the campuses and giving presentations with hands-on learning. This is free to our Klein ISD campuses, and the programs can be tailored to the teachers' needs and are TEKS-based. Last year, we brought back our annual candlelight tours. This event allowed our visitors to travel through 5 distinct eras and see or watch one of our families celebrate their Christmas Eve traditions. At each house, the visitors were given a replica postcard from the era with important facts about the year, a QR code that when scanned played the #1 Christmas carol of that year. They could then go off and grab a hot cup of wassail, sit around the fire, and listen to 'Twas the Night Before Christmas being read. To learn history, we always say you have to experience history. And this is the driving force behind many of our programs, including our 1908 historic dinners. Here we take reservations once a month for up to 10 visitors. We prepare a historically accurate meal on a burning stove, and guests can learn the history and stories behind the Frank family and the house and several other families. As they dine by lantern light, they get the sense of what it would have been like to be a family member during this time period. And what would Klein be without our traditional annual German Fest, where we honor the German founding families that first settled this area with a roll call of names, choirs, history, authentic German food, and games at this time of celebration and community building. This past year, we saw just around 2,000 visitors come out and participate in our celebrations that celebrated this German culture. Something new this past year that we implemented for our 4th grade field trips were character cards. Each student gets a lanyard with an original settler on it with information about that character. Here they can learn about Willis Woods, Amos Mahaffey Jr., Theodore Boney, August Middlestead, or many others. Here we hope to make these individuals come to life for the student and get them to realize that they are more than just the name on the front of their schools. And as we finish up with our Klein schools, at the end, we open up April 2 additional field trips to our program. We hosted our first annual homeschool day with over 150 students and families who come out to learn the history of Klein. We host several private schools, do several field trips for our younger students from neighboring school districts. And for the younger grades, we pivot to the animal meet and greets. We discuss the use and the needs of animals on the homestead and allow the students to get up close and personal. The museum portion of Dory Intermediate, we created several new exhibits and displays. One exhibit focuses on World War I and II with artifacts and clothing from U.S. and German forces. By creating this, we are giving teachers within the school additional resources to bring their students to and help to extend those lessons. We also created one on dolls, the ages, and early church books of the founding families and textiles. Along with many of these new activities, our annual fall festival is held on the last Saturday of October. This is a big community event with over around 1,800 attendees, and in December, our old-fashioned Christmas market is held on the first Saturday with an average attendance of 3,500 people. On the last Saturday of every month, we still have our monthly farmers market where we engage our visitors in history, shopping, and a place to step away from city life. This chart shows our average yearly, not really monthly, I misspoke on that one, where you can see in 2020, we took a bit of a hit for not being open during that surge of COVID and started fundraising in 21 and 22 to move and repair the Martin Frank homestead. 23 is off after we spent those fundraised funds on preserving that house, and in 2024, we are back to our pre-pandemic finances as we fundraise for upcoming projects. Currently, speaking of upcoming projects, we are raising funds for 2 of those. The first is a covered pavilion. This would allow us to have a place for our 4th grade field trips to sit in the event of rain, get out of the sun, maybe out of the wind. This would also allow us to start allowing birthday parties as another revenue source for the museum. The second project they're writing grants for currently is a general store. We are currently acquiring the full general store collection from the San Felipe de Austin site, and this will give the museum another facet to its education programming that deals with measuring, tally sheets, and basic math functions. Going beyond history is what we strive for. In a time where visitation to house museums such as ours is at an all-time low, we try to offer unique experiences that appeal to a wider audience. We are a museum and a farm, but more importantly, we are a place where the community comes together to share stories, engage in multiple learning experiences, from paranormal ghost walks to Little Farmer Fridays to the Farm Amazing Race, and even animal meet and greets. We offer something for everyone. And with that, we will take any questions you may have.
I think you're definitely the best dressed of all of our reports. It commands instant attention and excitement. There you go. We appreciate that.
As far as a living history program, there are 4 districts in the United States that we are aware of. The one I work closest to is in Henderson County, North Carolina. So they're very similar to the Krahn program, where it's run by the school district, where they have some volunteers, they have a staff member, and the same type of programs that we have. So we really started working closer together during COVID, trying to create those innovative ways of how do we still engage with our visitors when we can't have visitors at the museum. And so the other 2 are on the East Coast. We're just not really in communication with them.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
You've never been, you need to know. It's amazing.
We are adjacent to Dory Intermediate School, Memorial Northwest Subdivision. So when people are looking for a farmer's market and they're driving into a subdivision, they get a little confused. So thankfully, with Precinct 3, we've added some wonderful brown signs that go along Spring Cypress and even Champion Forest that say Wonderlic Farm Museum to guide visitors back in that way.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Baird. We
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
all of your attention. I feel like every year's report, we get something new. So it's wonderful. Wonderful. I think we are at the point of the meeting where we would like to take a brief intermission. I don't believe we have any scouts to recognize. Okay. All right. In that case, we'll take an intermission to allow the board the opportunity to meet our honored guests. The time is now 8:14 p.m. and we're in intermission. All right, may I have your attention, please? The time is now 8:26 p.m. We are ready to reconvene. This meeting of the Board of Trustees for Klein ISD. We will begin with item 11, first reading of proposed modifications to local board policies GBBA and GKC. Trustees, are there any comments or questions? Okay, hearing none. Next item is item 12 on the agenda, consideration and request for approval of the hearing officer recommendation regarding the level 3 FG local grievance. May I have a motion?
May I? Sure. I move that the board adopt the hearing officer's recommendation in the matter of the FNG complaint of Ms. Frias. However, I want to note specifically that in the level 2 decision, Dr. Brian Greeny provided the following resolutions as requested by Ms. Frias. The individuals involved were addressed and held accountable. The counseling services requested were provided. The documents requested were provided, and a page was added to the Klein ISD website to more thoroughly outline the complaint process. Additionally, the complaint process was added to the search.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next is item 13, sub-items A and B, which we'll take together unless any member of the board wishes to consider them separately. Does anyone wish them separate? Okay, hearing none. We will take items 13A and 13B together. The approval of the contractor for the Klein King roof project, contractor for the 2024 various roof repairs project. May I have a motion?
A motion to approve.
I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Next is item 14, consideration and request for approval of the early guaranteed maximum price for the Wonder Lake Intermediate Comprehensive Renovation Project. May I have a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Now for the consent agenda. Are there any items that you would wish to remove from the consent agenda?
None.
None.
Okay, and I have none. Those in favor? The consent agenda passes by consensus. Okay, moving on to calendar review. Monday, January 20th is Martin Luther King Jr. holiday for staff and students. That's exciting. And the next regular board meeting and the audit committee meeting will be held Monday, February 3rd. In advance of midwinter break, will be earlier than the normal second Monday of the month. We can move on to comments. We'll begin tonight. Mr. Todd, comments that you have.
Thank you. Great meeting. I'm so thankful for all this. It's completely unnecessary and really humbling. I enjoy every year to go and read so many cards from very, very thoughtful students that we have. It really is moving to see how thoughtful our young students are and how caring they are. So thank you for all of that. We appreciate the community just allowing me to serve here, and it is an honor. I want to say congratulations to Stacy Kensfather. I think that was your first time as a superintendent to present. Is that true? Congratulations for that. So happy for you. I wanted to note, as I was listening to the CTE competition folks, it would be really easy to think these are just competitions that we do because they creates attention or something like that. But I distinctly remember in 8th grade going to a competition. It wasn't called CTE back then. I'm pretty old, but I remember going to a competition because a teacher invited me, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to this, but I did, and I did really well, and it really changed the trajectory of my whole life because I excelled in something. And so I just think it's really important to know that, like, we're giving these kids opportunities to excel. And it really, really can change a kid's life. It gives them hope. It gives them encouragement. Gives them some of them the tenacity to excel at something they didn't even know they could excel in. And so, really special, I think. And again, I just want to draw attention to those deficits and those unfunded mandates. So I hope people will pay attention to those things. It can be really easy to get lost in, the nuance and not really dig into why things are the way they are. And so thank you to Dan and the entire finance team for your really diligent work. Appreciate what you do and your whole team. You have a team full of really professionals, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Great. Ms. Dory Peters.
I'm very, very happy to be here tonight. All of this is amazing. So much joy. This being up here, seeing all of these student celebrations and seeing the joy in the parents, it's amazing from here. It's heartwarming. So I'm very happy to be a part of that. Wonderlic Farm is near and dear to my heart. It's a place I love. We do the little toddler Fridays with my niece and nephew. It's great. So everybody should check that out. It's awesome. The history there is important to keep here, I think, and I love it very much. I am very thankful to be a part of something so strong and so deep here in Klein.
Wonderful. Mrs. Arlon.
I look around and I see all the signs and all this, and as a former educator, it warms my heart that kids care. And that's why we're here, is because we want to continue to be part of their world and make it better for them in the future. One thing that always comes to me, I think I've done it all because I've been around about 48 years now in education. I had a first. I got to judge the drumsticks, okay, at the ag barbecue thing. Oh my gosh. It was a very unique experience, and I had never done it. But that's what it's about. And they called them popsicles. And I was like, chicken popsicles? It was amazing. But it's what being part of the community is what makes it so special. Speaking of the community, we're getting ready for all the musicals. And when you see everything that we do, from athletics to CTE to all of the activities that these kids are involved in, it's why Klein is what Klein is. And I just appreciate still being able to be part of it and having to be able, like you said, to sit on this side and be able to see the excitement. And I want to always be part of that excitement for them by giving the time and the energy to see all they have. That's all.
Wonderful. Mr. Qualls.
Well, first off, I wanted to just say a personal thank you to Miss, I think it's Aaliyah Khan, perhaps. But she has done the impossible, which is give me my hair back. And so, Aaliyah, thank you very much. And thank you to all of the students that had anything to do with tonight. I mean, this is just, it's overwhelming. Every time we walk in these January, this is the second January meeting, I guess, that I've seen and been a part of, and it's just amazing. I mean, it's very humbling because we do what we do just because we like doing this, and so it's just amazing to be honored, to do something like this. But thank you. I wanted to send a special thank you again out to the Lifesaving team that was here tonight with Mr. Leva here himself, I guess. Again, it's like it was said, not to reiterate too long, but that's what it's all about. I mean, that's the very utmost example of teamwork. And so just it's very cool, very neat, very heartwarming, and glad that worked out like it did. And then congrats, Miss Martin at Schultz Elementary. It was awesome seeing her. So thank you.
Excellent. Ms. Morrison.
Tonight, I had the wonderful experience of walking in and seeing all kinds of gifts, so I do appreciate appreciate that for my second board meeting. I promise I'll work hard to actually earn these, I think. The second thing is, I encourage you to go to the FFA activities coming up. I go every year, and it's a wonderful thing to witness those children and what they have accomplished. And they're very proud. They will talk to you quite a bit to tell you all about it. The other thing I would say, this is my second board meeting. It's also my second grievance to vote on. The FNG local policy, I would like to request that we relook at that. As it is written right now, I'm not sure I agree with it, although I do think that the current grievance that was presented today as needed was well within the policy. So if we can pick a time that I would.
Thank you. Mr. James.
I will be redundant, but everybody hit the nail on the head in all the areas that it's an exciting time. January is always wonderful because it's just January. It's a new opportunity, new things are offered up, and the cards that you get. I think Chris said it best. The cards that you get from these kids are really hard. I mean, they just tug at the heartstrings. So that I'm going to look forward to going through each of those cards and reading those cards. But again, another great meeting. Everybody has already touched on the things that matter most in the meeting, and another one in the book.
Excellent.
Yeah. Mr. President, before you go, can I just say one more thing? I know I've had my time, but one more thing.
Because it's you, Mr. Todd.
Really important. I forgot to say anything, but it was so great to see Jason Hedrick here. I actually went to high school, graduated high school with him, and we were both athletic trainers at Klein Oak together. And so it's so cool to see him continuing his medical career. We had an incredible trainer, guy by the name of Keith Chan, who still works with the district now for Methodist, who really shaped our lives. These teachers, they care. They make such an impact on our lives. I'm very old, and I still remember the lessons he told me. And Jason's over there saving lives. So, gosh. Anyway, that's it.
Excellent. Wonderful. I just wanted to say again on the Lifesaving, I was a little bit delayed coming back in because I was out in the hallway talking to Mr. Lay, who was saved, and he said that the doctors told him that less than 5% of the people survived what he went through, and it was that immediate attention. And then afterwards, the fact that people from Klein Collins went to their house, they helped mow their lawn, they brought up meals. It's just such a family. He was so touched, and I thought that was just that human dynamic is just really powerful. And again, the FFA, I just love how articulate and confident those kids are. It's 900 plus projects. It's pretty great. But wonderful. Dr. McGowan.
I just want to say thank you again to the school board. It was a joy to get to celebrate you tonight, and we're just thankful every day for the sacrifices that you make and how much you give of your own time and talent, the time you spend away from your own families and your other professional and personal pursuits to give to Klein ISD. We don't take it for granted, and we're very thankful for each of you. I also just want to celebrate that our kids continue to succeed at not just the local level, but at the state level, the national level. They continue to bring so much pride to this place. And as a Klein ISD mom, I just couldn't be more grateful for the opportunities and experiences that my own children have in our schools every day, which is why it's so important that as we head into this next legislative session, we continue to use our voices to speak up on behalf of our students so that these award-winning programs that enrich the lives of our students, not only today, but for their future purpose that they want to pursue, that these kind of programs and opportunities and choices continue to be part of the Klein experience. That takes us working in partnership with our elected officials who set laws that dictate how we're able to operate our schools, and also, most importantly, as our CFO did a wonderful job of articulating tonight, making sure that they provide the appropriate levels of funding in a current economic environment that's facing 20% inflation, so that we have the buying power to give our kids and our teachers and our community the absolute best, not only this year or next year, but for many years to come. So I just encourage everybody, as we say often, there is no off season for advocacy, but the session starts tomorrow, y'all, and the season is on. So we need to make sure that we're out there lifting our voices on behalf of all the things we love and want to protect in Klein ISD. And I also just want to say thank you to Trustee Morgan for bringing that to the table tonight. In fact, I had a conversation with President Ellis earlier today. Our team's already been working on looking at FNG policy and studying the other policies of neighboring school districts to see how we compare, and we will be bringing forward recommendations for the board's consideration. And as always, we're open to the feedback of our trustees and the input that you have as we put policies forward for consideration. So thank you for that feedback tonight.
Very well said. And wonderful. If there are no objections, Mr. Todd, no objections. All right. It is now 8:41 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned.